Okay. One, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Margarita's get bass. Hi everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick. And I'm Paul.
And this time out, you are going to have one hell of a treat because we managed to snag an interview at Dublin Comic Con. We were there recently with Kate Walshe from Millennium FX, who, if you don't know Millennium FX, you only think that. You have seen their work.
Yeah.
You have seen their work in Doctor Who. Actually, you know what? Go to their website and look at their list of credits. You've seen most of the things on it. They are incredible. What they do with prosthetics, makeup, animatronics, visual effects. It was a dream for us to get time talking to somebody like Kate from a company like that. And Paul managed to interview her while I manned the camera, so you're about to watch an awful lot of Paul's pretty face. Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Paul at Dublin Comic Con with Hear Us Out, and I'm with Kate. Do you want to say your full name?
I'm Kate Walshe. I'm from a company called Millennium FX, and we've come to Dublin Comic Con to show off some of our work.
Cool. And how did you? So it's mostly practical effects, or do you do a combination?
So we mostly do practical effects. So predominantly we do prosthetic makeups to change someone's appearance, to make someone look like an alien or make someone look fat or old. We also do creature costumes, so full head to toe, like robot suits or alien suits. And we also do animatronics, animatronic puppets or wearable animatronics. So everything we do is a physical thing that ends up on screen, but we do use 3D stuff in our work. We 3D model and we print, and we're embracing technology. Yeah.
And what got you into the effects kind of area?
Well, I was always quite weird and into this sort of stuff, and watching horror movies from too young an age, and so I think I was sort of destined to do it, but I didn't realize it was a job, so I went and did film instead, and through that I made some kind of weird movies and films, and then I ended up being an editor, and then actually bizarrely decided to follow a path in post-production in digital visual effects, and part of the postgrad I did was prosthetics, and how there's a crossover between practical prosthetic effects and digital, because there's a lot of digital cleanup, there's a lot of crossovers. So during my course there, I got to do work with Millennium FX. Just decided to give up all of my other career decisions and just sod VFX and just concentrate on doing rubber monsters instead.
That's very cool. And do you have any heroes in the industry yourself, or anyone that you really like? Oh man, I can't wait to see more of their stuff or anything.
Yeah, it's really weird because the industry is quite small, and so my heroes are actually people that I kind of know and work with. So there's a guy, Barry Gower, who does all of this stuff for Game of Thrones, and he's an incredible artist and has incredible artists working for him. And there's a good few other artists in the UK, Nick Dudman's a big guy. He does loads of amazing stuff, and his teams do incredible stuff. So it's there's an awful lot of pure raw talent in the UK where my company's based. But also there's a group in New York headed up by Louis Zakarian, who do all the stuff for Saturday Night Live. And the stuff they produce in the time they produce it is utterly phenomenal. And I got a chance to meet him and talk to him about the work that he did and the timescales he produces. Some of the stuff he does is insane. He sculpted a nose for someone, and he was told about it 4 hours before they filmed, and he sculpted it, molded it, casted it 4 hours, and it just it was stuck on someone's face, still warm from the mold. He just blows my mind. So people like that blow my mind. And there's obviously huge talent in LA. So just could go on. And Doug Jones is here at Dublin Comic Con, and I was doing a talk at the same time he was doing a talk.
So you didn't get to go to his one?
I didn't get to go to his one. I've not met Doug Jones. I've been at conventions where he's been around, and he's just, everyone talks so highly of him, that he's such a lovely guy as well as an incredible talent. Yeah.
So do you like Del Toro with his kind of sets and everything as well? Because he does a lot of practical built sets and everything.
He's really big on practical stuff. Del Toro is he pushes a lot of character design, creature design, and obviously set design, and ties them all together. From what I understand of people who've worked with him, he's very hands-on with like art department and creature department, just because, you know, like horror and monsters is kind of where his heart's at. So like, even though like the director is supposed to be sort of a bit standoffish, I think he's like quite like hands-on. So I'd love one day to get the opportunity to work with him, but like super big fan of his work. And yeah, I know he's doing like a stop motion Pinocchio movie. They're gearing up for, like Leica's doing it over in the States. So excited about that. It's going to be phenomenal.
And so what have you worked on yourself? Like?
So, I mean, one of the major big things that I've worked on is Doctor Who. I've been working on it for like the last 10 years or so. So that's kind of eaten into my psyche, and I love the show so much. But also, we just had a movie come out called Slaughterhouse with Simon Pegg, and it's coming out on DVD next week. And so hopefully people will watch it, because it was so funny, and it was like so gutting it didn't do better in the box office. And then there's just this weird thing when people ask me what I'm working on, I sort of realize that everything I've got in my head I can't talk about, because I've got our company works on about a dozen projects at a time, and they're like eating into all of my conscious brain, and I'm like, I can't talk about that one. So like there's a few really cool projects actually shooting in Ireland that we got to work on, and some like in Europe. Actually, I just came back from Prague. I'm working on a thing. I just came back on Wednesday, and like come talk to me next year, and I'll be like, I did that when we remember that time, and we were talking. So that's I think it's the same with anyone in the industry. It's like, you know, everyone's like, what are you working on?
Yeah.
Can't say.
Yeah. Of course. So, is there any is there any misconceptions of the industry that you've experienced, or that, like, because with being at the conventions, I get a lot of people probably come up to you and go, hey, you know, this happens or anything, you know?
I think people are really surprised at how long things take. You know, someone came up earlier and was like, oh man, I bet this took like days. And I was like, oh man, months. You know, this took months to do. You know, I think, you know, when you see a finished thing, it is a creative, beautiful artwork. But actually so much technical processes go into producing that. So, you know, technical mold making, coring, you know, engineering work, and chemistry, and all this sort of quite like precise, like sciencey bit, and all that takes time. You know, materials only cure so quickly, and you know, we're kind of prototyping all the time, so we're sort of inventing new ways to do things, and so you know, it's not something you do overnight. You're kind of figuring it out on the fly, but I think that's the main thing, is like people are so surprised when you go, this took 2 months to make, and they're like, oh, I could have done it in a weekend. And it's like, well, good luck.
I like to see you try, because if you do, come to us, because we need that type of.
We will hire you, yeah. And I think that's like what we were talking before about sort of VFX-y stuff. I think that a lot of productions are so used to using CG effects that when we tell a producer or director that they haven't worked with prosthetics before, that something might take 6 weeks to make, they kind of freak out and go, well, okay, I'll just do it in post. And I think that's something that is coming back quite a bit. I think directors are becoming more familiar with using practical creature effects. There was a period when there was just all CG, and those days are gone, because I think all the CG guys have realized that if there's a physical thing there, even if it's a static prop, you get a better effect in the end. And, you know, and we've realized that our practical creature effects are also limited, and so sometimes need augmentation, because as soon as you put a person in something, you know, it limits what you can do, and then you just need that little extra. So we work together quite a lot. We'll start a film production or a TV production sitting in the same room, coming up with the best way to deal with the story, because it's all about the story at the end of the day. You know, got to make a good story, otherwise no one's going to see it. So yeah, I can't remember if that was a question, or I don't know.
Oh, no worries. No, it's great stuff, you know. Anyway. Which good. So how are you enjoying DCC today?
It's been brilliant, like non-stop chat. It's great. Like, I'm actually really happy there's a lot of Doctor Who fans here, because you never know if you go to a convention like this, if people are, you know, gonna like it, because you know, I've done a lot of talks in Ireland where I've gone, so who likes Doctor Who, and the room has just stayed silent. So there's a ton of fans here today, and I'm really chuffed to talk to them.
That's great, and thank you very much for talking to us today.
Problem.
You know, thank you very much.
So that was Kate from Millennium FX. What an amazing person, enthusiastic. so knowledgeable. It was really great. If you ever get a chance to, if they're at a convention or if they're somewhere that you are, go up and talk to the people at Millennium FX. They are unbeatable at what they do, but also so passionate that it really comes across as they're talking to you. You're getting excited about what they do.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely great, and we're really grateful for Kate to take the time out and give us the interview. But yeah, the stuff that was there in the stall was fantastic. They were doing a makeup. Artist was from Millennium FX was doing up an alien from wearing their models. It was fantastic.
And I saw that model walking up the street after the convention when I was driving home, and it was just blowing everybody away. And I thought it was just the coolest thing in the world to see in the wild. They did such an amazing job that she stood out and it did look like she was from another world.
Oh man, it was such a good job. We have some shots.
Yeah, we got some footage in there. So yeah, bottom line, thank you so much to Millennium FX, and thank you so much in particular to Kate. It made the convention for us in a lot of ways. It was just a once in a lifetime thing. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll get to see them again.
Yeah, we'll hopefully catch up with them again at another convention and see what new stuff they've gotten themselves into. So,
and in the meantime, if you like what you see here, maybe you could give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us the rest of the YouTube dance, and give it a share and a comment. Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's everything. Yeah, so click everything everywhere on your screen right now, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
So if you were going to be made up, what would you be made up as? If you could get them to build you a prosthetic or something?
You.
2 of me.